Hey, y'all, welcome back to Decide It's Your Best Life mini podcast series. And this one is going to be fun. All about the money mindset, how mastering your mindset affects your money. And if you have ever listened to the Decide It's Your Turn podcast, let me tell you, I've done plenty of podcasts on money over there, but money is one of these taboo topics. So why the fuck not talk about it? I'm here for it. And I do believe that your money mindset affects your financial success. Now, I'm not saying that a person isn't successful if they don't have finances, but at the end of the day, just like food and water, air and shelter, we all fucking need money. At the end of the day, we all need money. And there is a certain amount of money, they've always said that there's a certain amount of money. Once you have that amount of money, your happiness does not actually go up incrementally from there. But I'm going to be real with you. Like, as a person who has had not very much and a person who has more than they need to stay alive and fine, I will tell you, it's fucking easier to have money. It really is. It makes things a lot easier when you actually have more than enough in order to take care of your basic needs. So why in the world do some people really struggle with money mindset? Well, probably because of how you were raised, probably because of your surroundings, probably because you don't know that there's something different. Well, this whole entire series is about changing your mindset. So if you can change your mind about your happiness, you can change your mind about your relationships, you can basically take personal responsibility for your life. If you listened a few episodes ago, I told you one of the greatest things you can ever learn about personal development and your mindset is that you have the power to decide it's your turn. You have the power to decide your life. You have the power to decide to make changes, and you have the power to decide differently in regards to your money mindset. And your girl, let me tell you, comes from an absolutely piss poor money mindset. And today I can tell you, I am not anywhere near perfect. I still fucking struggle, but from where I was to where I am today, I am in a much better, almost 180. Let's go to like 110, 110 degree difference from where I used to be. And it's all because of the programming of my money. And I am telling you, like, I understand if you're like, I always try to like caveat, like, I get it. If you want to punch me in the face, I fucking get it, because I used to listen to people like me and be like, I fucking want to punch you in the face. But I promise there's something to it. So perhaps instead of wanting to punch me in the face, perhaps maybe you can decide that you want to change your money mindset. And in order to change your money mindset, you actually have to do certain things, because you have to figure out. So the first thing that I would say when you want to change your money mindset is like, what prevents people from actually having success or actually having like an actual positive money mindset? Well, number one, I would say, is family, past experiences, who you surround yourself with, what you believe is possible. I mean, all of those things come into play when you're thinking about your money mindset. It's like, what stories, habits, and patterns did your family or people around you or where you grew up in the environment that you grew up, what did they tell you about money? We've all heard these shitty stories about money doesn't grow on trees. People with money are bad. Money's hard to make. Save your money, spend your money, fuck the government, blah, 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 blah. Like all of the shit, right? All of the shit that's really negative about money. So in order to have a better feeling about money, I would say it makes logical sense to me, because I understand the power of the mind. I would say that, like, okay, if you believe all of those things to be true about money, does it make sense to you why money seems hard? Money seems hard to make, money seems hard to spend, money seems hard to save, money seems hard to talk about. Like, if you have such a negative connotation about something, it makes logical sense that all of the things in regards to money are probably negative in your mind, in your life, like, if it's negative in your mind, chances are it's negative in your life. So how do we change that? Well, we change our stories about money. We change our patterns about money. We change our habits about money. And the very first way to do that is to realize, what are your stories, patterns, and habits about money? I do free clarity calls with people all the time, and I can like literally tell, like, I always say the difference between coaching and therapy is like, therapy is like, let's talk about why you are the way you are for the rest of your fucking life. Well, I can do a coaching call with someone and I can know why you are the way that you are within like the first fucking call or the first week. Like, I know why you are the way you are. Well, now we have to reprogram it to get what you want. And it is honestly that quote unquote, if you're watching this, air quotes, it is that simple. Well, it's not simple because you actually have to do it, but it really is that simple in reprogramming. So if you do have a horrible money mindset, my best advice to you is let's reprogram some shit. Let's figure out what you want to believe. So if you believe money is hard to make, well, why can't we believe that money is easy to make? And if you're going to like repeat that affirmation, you know, we've done a podcast already, one of these mini podcasts on affirmations. If you want to believe that money is hard to make, well, then if we want to believe money is easy to make, let's start with that affirmation. And then let's find proof that money is easy to make. So the other day I was actually helping a client with this. She was moving and I was like, okay, I want you to sell some shit because I want you to see that like she was really having this scarcity moment about money. And I wanted her to see that like she had the ability to make money. Now, it may not be in the exact capacity and the exact way that you want it, but you have to start finding proof that it is possible. So for myself, like I had to start finding proof that I could make money. I had to start finding proof that it was okay to spend money. I had to find proof that I could have more money than I needed. I had to find proof that there was other people on this planet making a shit ton of money and that if they could do it, I could do it. So I just found proof everywhere that I wanted. And I'll be honest with you, one of the things that I have seen over the years is that if you fight for your limitations, you will fucking win. So if you want to fight me on the fact that money is hard to make, that I can't do it, that it might be easy for you, but it's not easy for me, guess what? You're fucking right. You are right. If you want to believe that that is true, well, then you're probably right because it will be hard for you. But on the flip side of the coin, if you want to fight for why you can, chances are you will be right. And that goes for anything. And that goes for, you know, whatever you want to talk about, not just money, but what you fight for, chances are you will figure out that you are correct. So if you want to believe that money isn't bad, that you can make money, that money is easy to make, that you can have more money than you need, that money is good, that money flows to you freely, like all of the woo-woo shit about money, if you want to believe it and you want to fight for why you want to believe it and how it can be true for you, you will win. And the exact opposite is true too. So first thing that I would say is find more money. So and I know that that sounds like, oh, fucking easy, but literally find more money. I want you to find money. And like, I had a client one time where she like was a money coach and she went through your finances and she helped you find money. I've done this with clients too, where this isn't like something that I do with all my clients, but like I have helped my clients be like, okay, like let's find more money in your life. Let's find where you're spending more money than you need to be spending over here. Let's find how you can bring in more income over here. Let's see how you can raise your rates over here. Let's see how you can ask, you know, I did something so easy the other day. I couldn't even fucking believe it. My husband and I were talking about interest rates and how on my, I don't know if it's my personal account or my business account. I can't remember which one it is. It's either my personal account, my business account, or I can't remember what it is. But I told my husband, I was like, I have like, you know, six figures in this account. And I was like, I don't have any fucking interest on this account. That's like fucked up, is it not? And he's like, well, have you ever asked your banker? And he gave me the number to our banker or whatever. I sent an email and literally the guy wrote back. He's like, sure, I can give you 2% on that account. No problem. We'll start next month. And I was like, oh my God, do you know how much money that is over the course of however many years that I have probably not been bringing in on that account? And like, literally, I started looking at it. I was like, I got like $190 or something like that on, I don't even know. Maybe it was more than that. I don't know what the fuck it was, but I was like, oh my God, this is an extra $200 a month that I'm fucking getting because I sent one email because I asked one question. And I know that that's so random, but like, how can you find more money? How can you like, and I'm not a big proponent of like, let's spend less. I'm a big proponent of let's figure out how to make more. So, but that's one of my affirmations, right? That's one of my mentalities is like, I try not to live in a lack mentality. I'm always like, there's more out there. I can make it. People have fuck you amounts of money in this world. There's no reason why I can't have that amount of money. Like, why in the fuck? Like, it just makes complete sense to me. Like, I've trained myself to believe that like, oh, if I need something, it's easy. Like even in my business, I'm like, I don't even have to think about money in my business because I know that if I do a really, really good job, I'm going to get paid. Like, it's just like, duh. Like, and I know that that sounds like so crappy to some people, but I'm just always just like, how do I just figure it out? How do I figure it out? Like, I could always figure everything out. There's so much money in this world. And I find proof. Like, I will literally look around and I'll be like, huh, that jumbo jet that's flying in the sky that's private. Someone has as much fuel in that plane for one trip as some people make in a absolute year. So I'm like, if that exists, I know that there's so much money in this world, I can go make it. I know that there's people that are like, honestly, and I know this sounds bad and I probably shouldn't even say it, but like, have you ever looked at someone and be like, wow, that person is an absolute idiot and they're making more money than me? And so I'm like, that's just proof that I can do, like, I will be fine. I will succeed. And like, I'm sure you've done that too. And I don't mean that unkindly, but I also do look around and sometimes I'm just like, that's insane. Like, I should be really like, fuck you, more wealthy. And like, I do that stuff because I just find evidence in my brain that I can make money, that there's so much money in this world, that my job is to go find this money. Money comes to me so easily. That's one of the reasons, like, you know, I look at coins that I find. So if you've ever followed me on social media at Be Christina, you know that I pretty much find a penny or a coin or a dollar bill sometimes almost every single day. And that is like literally facts. Like if you follow me around, ask anyone who knows me personally, they'll be like, she finds a fucking coin all the time. But I look at that as God winks, but people could look at that and be like, see, money comes to you every single day, whether it's a penny or whether it's like a contract or whether it's like random ass money, whether it's interest in a bank account that I was like, oh, I should really ask for that. And sure enough, I did. And I got it. Like, it's not hard for me because I have literally been reprogramming myself for such a long period of time of like what I want to be true. And you have to push that level. You know, I think Ed Milet's the one who said that like money is like a temperature. So like, let's say your temperature is $100,000 a year. In order for you to really push that to like 150 or 300,000 or a half a million or whatever, you have to up your temperature of what you find normal, what you think is normal. And now you might be listening to this and your normal might be like $1,000 in your bank account. Well, how do you get to that $2,000? How do you see that $2,000? How do you like look at that and be like, yep, this is my new normal? Like, how do you put that in your bank account? How do you spend that? How do you save that? Like, how do you do that stuff that you're incrementally upping your number? And I'll be 100% honest with you. Like, I've actually had to do this. And very transparently, there's an account that I had that had like close to $100,000 in it all the time. And I told my husband like 2 years ago, I literally said to him, I was like, this is like exactly this shit that I talk to like clients about, is that like this account has stayed like within $2,000, which is like really kind of crazy when you think about it. $2,000 of $100,000 for probably like 2 years. I'm like, I gotta up this fucking shit. Like, I had to push myself to do that. And guess what? Sure enough, that account is way higher than $100,000 now because I had to get my temperature up to like a new normal. And so put yourself in the story, whatever it is. It might be $1 million, it might be $1,000, it might be $100, whatever that story is for you. Just know that you have to elevate your mindset and elevate your beliefs and elevate what is possible. So find that it exists, see where it exists, and have people help you reprogram your stories. You know, this is something that I do with my clients all the time. You have to push yourself to that new level, new devil. And I'm not saying that any of this has to do with your happiness or who you are as a human. But at the end of the day, if you want to work on your money mindset and you want to make those shifts in your money and you want to make those shifts in what you believe is possible, it 100% fucking starts with your mind. And then you push incrementally to what you want to be possible. So I hope that helps you guys figure out what stories you guys want to be true, figure out what is not even true for you. I've talked about this on my big podcast, the Decide It's Your Turn podcast. If you guys want a link to that, if you found this show before you found that show, 501-222-3362. I'm happy to text that to you. Follow me over on Instagram. I talk about money quite a bit because it's a big part of life and we need to talk about it. And if other people aren't talking about it, and if good people aren't talking about it, you know, one of my former mentors said, when good people make good money, they do great things in this world. And I 100% believe it. And if I had a choice between having money and not having money, I'm gonna fucking choose the money. End of the day, it does not make you happier. Happiness is a choice. choice and it starts in your mind. But let's be honest, we all need money, and it's nice to know that you've got it in order to make different choices in your life and to be able to bless different people. And so I'm so grateful for you listening to this podcast, and I hope you enjoyed it. Use these affirmations, use these changes, find it, figure out what you want, figure out what you don't want. If I can ever help you, reach out to me. This is what I do. It's what I'm the best at, and I'll see you tomorrow.